Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. You know what that means. The Saturday Morning Hustle Podcast, outworking the competition while they still sleep. And today, I want to give you advice about not taking all the advice that people give you when they find out that you own a business, that you're building a startup, that you have a side hustle, that you're crafting something outside a 9-to-5 job. When people find out you have those pursuits, they want to tell you what to do, even though they don't know what they're talking about because they're not doing it. Or, even worse, they have a business or a side hustle that's completely different than yours, and they want to give you some sort of one-size-fits-all solution. And then the third option, the worst of all of them, are people that want to sell you some advice. They want to sell you a system. They want to get paid in order to give you something that's not built for you. It's built for anyone and everyone. That's the fallacy. It's okay to pay people for consulting, like what I do. It's okay to buy books, to buy systems, to research best practices. All of that is perfectly okay. It's a good idea. It's a smart idea. It's a great thing to look at examples that other people are building their business with. But don't back yourself into a corner of a singular path to your business being successful, to your career pursuits being successful, or to anything, even project level, anything that you're pursuing. When someone tells you this is the way it must be done, they're leaving out all of the potential success that comes from understanding opportunities and options. There is no singular path to success. There is no singular way to do things right. Instead, you need systems that are adaptable and flexible if you want that success to be sustainable and continue forward. This is the difference. So again, when you own a business, have a startup, have a side hustle, you get a lot of unsolicited advice from people who probably shouldn't be giving you advice, which is what makes it the worst amount of advice, right? So when they tell you, I know how for your business to be successful, I know what you should do, stop doing this and do that, whatever advice it is they give you, your response needs to be, fine. Don't tell me the one thing that I should do with my business, because one thing isn't enough. Instead, tell me what the strategy is, what the tactics are, how to set goals, measurements, and creating expectation. What is the system I should build? And tell them to be specific. Now, most likely, this is where the conversation ends, because no one actually knows what they're talking about is going to get that far in depth with you. Instead, they're going to give you, you should just do this, which is a singular tactic, typically. Avoid singular tactics. Avoid the idea of there's only one way to do something. And instead, move forward with a system of adaptability. But not only should you ignore that advice that is based on singular ways of being successful, but you should also, there's certain terms and buzzwords you absolutely should avoid. Number one being this one weird trick. How many times have you seen that in spam? There's this one weird trick. There's this weird thing. We found a secret. There's something we know that you don't that leads to success. Any sort of obfuscation of what it really is not something that's going to be successful. So avoid that at all costs. Avoid can't fail, never misses, too good to be true. You know what they say about things that are too good to be true. They probably aren't, and you're probably getting taken for a ride. So it's one thing to ignore it. It's another thing to pay money for those things. Don't do that either. And the last thing you want to avoid spending your time or money on is a box, is a singular set system where someone wants to give you their box. It's metaphorical, of course, right? But whatever is in this box, whatever we're going to send you in an email or in a link into a website or in a video, etc., that's already been created, that is a one-size-fits-all solution. If you follow this thing, if you follow the book, the plan, the PDF, whatever it is that's inside our box, you can be successful. That box is going to be useless because it's too generic and it isn't specific enough to your business. Instead, what you need to be looking for, the advice you should take, the people you should actually pay for their time and expertise, should be talking to you about sustainable systems, adaptive learning, incoming data, analysis, and adjustment. I'm going to say that again because it's so important. Incoming data, what's happening in the world, specifically what's happening with your audience, your market, your competition, etc., your performance of your product or service within those factors. That, along with what you can do with it. So that's data analysis, what you can learn from it, continual learning, not one time, not singular learning, continual learning, and how you utilize that, how you translate that data into actionable items. That's analysis. Now, once you have analysis, it is adjustment. What adjustments can you and should you make based on the real world data that you've collected and analyzed? What is the situation? What is the opportunity? What is the audience demand? What's your value point, your value proposition? What is your position in the market? How are you connecting? How are you not connecting with your target audience, your primary and secondary? Not everyone. I've said this recently on the podcast. Everyone is not your client. So if everyone is not your client, you have to focus on your target audience, primary and secondary. If you know that, you have a system that is sustainable, adjustable, and can move forward so that you're not successful today. You're successful all the time. You're successful always. And the key to being successful in business is how you manage change. Change is a potential for opportunity. Opportunity has a potential for growth. If your business is growing, you're moving in the right direction. So if you're prepared for change, if you have systems that allow you to adapt to the change, then you have taken opportunity to grow or do what's necessary to be successful. That type of system is the only thing you should pay attention to, whether you're paying someone for as a consultant, whether you're using a workbook or some sort of online system, or you're building it yourself by getting advice directly from individuals, from mentors, from people with experience. You're learning from other people's. Building sustainable systems, that data, analysis, adjustment. If you can do that, that is how any business has the potential to be highly successful. Outside of any advice anyone is going to give you about that simple trick, that one thing, the thing that never misses, the too good to be true, and guaranteed sales. Anyone who tries to sell you those things, I guarantee you I can make you more money. I guarantee you it can drive sales. Guarantee you that doing this one thing will work for you. Those ideas are shortcuts that will get you nowhere, that will take your money from you but not return it in value. Instead, sustainable systems made for adjustment. That's what a business is. Those adjustments is how you take advantage of the situation. You create opportunity from change. That change creates opportunity. That opportunity is growth. If you're continually growing, you're continually going in the right direction. You're continually doing the right thing. There you go. That's the only thing you should pay attention to if you own or operate a business. So thank you guys for tuning in another Saturday morning on the Saturday Morning Hustle. Outworking the competition while they still sleep here on the podcast. Listen to the podcast on Anchor app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, Podchaser, anywhere you find great podcasts, Spotify, and full video is on YouTube as well. There's a behind the scenes on my IGTV as well, so check it out. Follow on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, and now there's a new Facebook page, Saturday Morning Hustle Facebook page, all one word. You can find it on Facebook, so become a fan, follow so you don't miss an episode. Make sure you subscribe on your preferred platform as well. Tell a friend, leave a review. It's really important to us if you could leave a review on any of the podcast platforms. tell your friends, share this on social media, make a comment, make a suggestion. Even if you want to tell me I missed something or that I didn't explain something correctly, let me know. I will follow it up on a future episode. And there'll be a new episode of the bonus series, the Balance bonus series. The Balance podcast will be coming on this Monday, the last Monday of the month. There'll be a new episode, so you can check out the current episode, check out the new episode on Monday, subscribe to the podcast. Appreciate you guys tuning each and every week. Get yourself some Saturday Morning Hustle swag too. Saturday Morning Hustle, Entrepreneur AF, Coffee and Donuts. New swag coming soon as well. So if you missed any of that, go to SaturdayMorningHustle.com and check it all out. Thank you guys very much. See you next week.
Saturday Morning Hustle. Saturday Morning Hustle. Saturday Morning Hustle. Wake up and keep chasing.